Hi guys. Hey. Hello. Thank you, Hamstrong, for the tier 1 sub. 25 months already? 25 years. Hi guys. Oh. Black hair boss. When was the last time I did black hair? Do you guys remember? I think it was like 2-3 years ago. It's official. Boss will not be going to blonde hair, boss. Yeah, I got a new haircut. Hair and color is different now. The biggest reason why I changed my hair was shower took too long. I'm just so tired. Hello, 안녕하세요. Looks nice. Do you guys like it? It's so short. Yeah, I was envying guys. You know how guys like shower in like 20 minutes? And then like hair drying is only like 5 to 10 minutes. And I had long hair. It took me like an hour. So yeah, I honestly was thinking about that too. I know. And like it's funny how they require you to have like a quarter size quarter size amount of shampoo for your hair. That's what they say, and they always say that's enough. It's like, okay, well, like that's not enough. So when you had long hair. So anyways, this morning, wow, so tiring. It's so tiring, guys. Oh, actually last week I couldn't stream at all, so thank you guys for still waiting. The biggest reason was, I don't know, I was like really tired. I need at least 1.50. Me too, I need at least like, yeah. I had lots of good content to talk about because there was a lot of issue going on around the world. And I was really excited to talk about them, but the biggest problem was every time I exercise or if I do things a little bit like if I do things task wise or exercise wise, the amount of like time I spent is exactly the same. I can't even speak English right now, guys. What I wanted to say, if I do anything normal, as in before pregnancy level of doing things, I just die. I'm just in bed saying to myself, I can't do anything. So then I was like, okay, well, I need to stop. I need to come back and like relax. So I don't know, I guess it's different from every other pregnant women, but I've gotten a lot of people being like, you should drink coffee, and I'm like, I don't drink coffee. Because I get really tired since I can't sleep at night. I wake up every 2-3 hours. Yeah, I dyed my hair color black. So I don't know, it's kind of funny, Armstrong. They're always like, it is bad. It's probably bad for like the future baby's like development, but they still drink it. I don't know, there's crazy people outside in the world, and you know, you want to do the best for your baby, but I always get like, you could drink coffee, you could do this, you could do that. Okay, well, I don't want to do it. Yeah, I think just like, yeah, so caffeine is bad for baby development, but the doctor said you could at least have 1 cup a day. But I don't do well with caffeine or like coffee in general anyway, so it's kind of pointless for me to drink coffee, so I don't really drink it. But the problem is, if I don't drink coffee, then the whole day I'm just really down. I can't have 5 lattes a day. Yeah, probably. So I think I could still like technically drink green tea, but the problem with green tea latte or anything sweet is that also leads to like diabetes. I think like pregnancy diabetes is like a legit thing, so that's something that we have to be worrying about. So then I was like, I'll just quit on caffeine just in general. Oh, is that what happened to Hani? Oh, yeah. Oh, is that what it's called? Is it gestational diabetes? Oh, I heard that's really tough. Yeah, I heard that's really, really tough. Jason? Oh, gestational diabetes. Yeah. No wonder she couldn't stream. Gestational diabetes. Oh, so I think I get to check mine maybe this coming week. So I'm going to the hospital this Friday, by the way. Surprise. I get an hour of, so I finished. Do you guys like my new haircut? Thank you. Hello. So I finished the integrated test. I finished the first round and the second round of integrated test. Oh, I guess they call it first trimester blood testing. And then I did the second trimester blood testing. Hi Rokokoni! Oh, did I slap on the keyboard? Sorry. 안녕하세요. Hi Raiders. 안녕하세요. 잘 지내셨어요? So it's tiring. 진짜 너무 피곤해. Oh. And then what's coming up is I've been like preparing all these. Thank you, Kuro, for the shout out. Thank you. 기다려봐. So I've been preparing for buying baby stuff a lot and everything, and it's pretty expensive. It's quite funny. They're like, oh, you could like I've been on like the mom cafe thing, and they say, oh, like all the expensive stuff, which includes the I was gonna call it trolley. It's not trolley. What am I thinking of? It's not trolley or the dolly. What? It was stroller. Oh, you know what's also funny, by the way? I've had stroller for the like. I've known stroller better than the Korean word until like I've been shopping in Korean. So now I'm forgetting English in that sense. But. Yeah, so expensive stuff includes like stroller, car seat. There's like some fancy things out there, like they have a bouncer, but there's this one brand that makes it super expensive. But every Korean mom has it apparently. It's $260 some or like one. So if I convert it, it's like 240 something, $230-$40 bouncer, which is like high quality. I was like, okay, like how high can a quality be for a baby bouncer? But apparently like every baby just loves it, and like they just sleep on it, or they don't cry when they're on the bouncer. There's so many things. It's probably not required. Honestly, it's not required, but they say it's a life changer, and there's like the nose thing and everything. So what are secondhand stuff? Guys, I've been forgetting English. You guys have to help me. Oh, yeah, I've been looking for used so much. But there are some products where they sell the used price, like the bouncer that I was talking about, like beyond its price. Well, not like too expensive, but it's better for me to just buy the new one and resell it than buying a used one. I think there's like baby shops, baby stores, but I don't think there's any like thrift stores. In Korea, it's thrift stores isn't that common. They usually just go for the used or the new. So I went to the outlet yesterday. It was like so crazy. The baby's clothes are so expensive. They're as expensive as like an adult. That's probably why Korea's birth rate's dropping. Everything's so expensive. Like if because babies are precious, right? Their skin is soft and like you want to keep it everything, blah blah blah. So they want to make it into good quality. I mean, of course you don't have to buy all those. It's not necessary, but at least you need to have a stroller. Like there are mandatory things, right? And some of the mandatory things like strollers, car seats are just so expensive. So that's definitely what we have to be looking, or that's something that we're gonna buy on, like, buy used. It's like that in all the developed countries. Is it also? It's probably also expensive in US too. Yeah, babies are so expensive. I don't know why. Even like the testing is baby. Oh, my back got better. So I had a roller for yoga. So I've been doing that often. I've been doing that actually the whole week last week. Because I realized, so the reason for my back, I've been having back problem where if I start walking, I get this like shocking pain in my butt bone. They have a bone. They have in my pelvis, right? And usually I'm okay. Tailbone, but it's more on my left side. This is my left, by the way, guys. So I don't know, like I know where my tailbone is, but it was like literally on my butt. There's no butt bone, yeah. So it must have been on my pelvis. I don't know. It was just this really awful pain and I just could not explain it. And the worst case is if I'm just going out for like a walk, because that's what pregnant women do. We just go out for walks. We can't do any other things. But we go out and I start getting this like shocking feeling in that area, and like 2 steps into my walk I just cannot move. I literally have to bend down because it's so painful. Oh, is that like a thing? And that never happened. Like I mean, like normally I have back pain, but it wasn't that bad. But it was just so bad that I was like, I can't walk anymore. Like we need to stop walking. And I've been taking like baby steps and walking. I'm like a grandma. Mia literally said, "You're like a grandma." I'm like, thanks. So, that got better because I've been on the roller a lot. Yeah, extra weight. What is it called? Sciatic nerve? Is that like a sciatic. Hello. You know what I was actually going to look or sciatica nerves. Sciatica nerves. Oh. So 19 to 20, I'm halfway into my pregnancy, guys. It's the worst time. I'm at that peak point where I'm starting to grow big. So I gained Seattle nerves. I have Seattle nerves issue. And I had a mental breakdown yesterday because of my finger. I forgot to tell you guys, I cut my finger. So I've been hurting myself everywhere. My body is just dying. Oh yeah, is it a pregnant? Oh, you're just a fat guy? Maybe it's the same thing, cause I became a fat person too. I'm getting there. Oh. I know. I was cooking the other day and I was using my knife but it was something frozen, and I should have probably like defrosted it. I know you guys are gonna be like, Jinri, shake my head, like tisk tisk. I was lazy, and it was like pepper, right? So I thought I could cut the pepper, but I was being a little too, yeah, and so it went and it kept bleeding. So I was like, oh well, whatever. So I just put a band-aid on, and Mia saw it, and Mia was like, you need to go get it stitched. I'm like, dude, it's just a cut. But I went to the doctor, and he was like, oh well, like it didn't go in too deep, but it kept bleeding. So he was like, you should probably get stitches so that it could heal faster. I was like, okay. And what was kind of shocking, for those who like watched me maybe like 2 years ago, I got my toes cut too, real bad. So I got stitches back then. It cost me, I think we were saying like $3,000 because I didn't have insurance at the time. Now my finger cost me $25 to get stitches. So the doctor was laughing at me. I told the doctor that I was like, oh, like this is my second cut, and he was like, oh, where else did you get it? And I was like, oh, it was in the US, and I told him the whole story. And then he was like, well, you're gonna be shocked with the price. Yeah, that's kind of what happened with my toe. So last time when I got that, I had to put my leg up like this because they were like, keep it high ground so that the blood goes down. So when I got out, I was just like this the whole time. I was like, blood go down. So if you see in my dance videos, you could see like my finger. I have like a gigantic finger here. Oh. That's true. It's technically only $3,000 with no insurance. Hi, travel. So maybe it makes up for all the insurance price that I shouldn't have, that I should have paid. Yeah, that was in the US. And I had to go to the ER because it was like 1 in the morning, and I was like, I don't know. It was kind of disgusting at the time because I could literally like move my toe. You know, your toes usually don't go like this way that much. You know, I was like, oh shoot. It wasn't that bad though. I wish I could do my own stitches, but I was like, yeah. Yeah, we were going to talk about the US medical system at one point, but I don't know when that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen soon. Ah! I dropped my lipstick. What else were we going to talk about today? Anything that happened? Oh, I watched The Elementalist. Elemental. That was a good move, like animation. No, the one that came out recently, the movies. So I think they did a really good job of, okay, so technically, who watched it? Anyone watch it? No one watched it? Okay, I highly recommend you guys watching it. It's actually, so the director said it wasn't related to any racial thing, but you could kind of see at one point like what reference he was using. So it's about like elements, water, fire, I think they have wind and soil. I don't know what element technically soil would be. And what was really cool was that they did kind of like a metaphor. Well, a lot of the reviewers say it's like a metaphor where it kind of represents each race. The director didn't really say that. That wasn't really the point of doing it, but he did say that. And it was really cool. You get to learn a lot. or you get to, I guess as an Asian, there are some parts in the movie that you're kind of like, that's actually really funny, or like that's actually a really funny metaphor. He did say that there are a lot of parts where he incorporated his lifestyle, because the director is Korean American, and so I got to watch his thing, and he put in a lot of like stuff related to Korea inside. And what I really liked about the movie was it was pretty cheesy. Not gonna lie, it was pretty cheesy, but if you guys are used to watching the Korean dramas, it's not as cheesy as you think. So, and there's a part where so technically the fire element moves to this town, and I'm thinking it's like San Francisco or like New York, and I think they actually say it was like New York. No, I want to watch the Barbie movie, but I don't want to go with me. I think he's not gonna like. And what's really cool about the movie is that apparently, since the fire element moved to a different city, they use technically a different language, right? And you kind of reference. They do say it's like the race that moved here, so maybe like Latin American countries or like Asian countries, you know, they moved to the US, right? And there's a part because the fire element meets the water. It's not a spoiler because you see it literally, like they're literally like holding hands, guys. They're it's like talking about meeting fire element and water element. And there's a point in the part of the movie where the fire element goes see the family of the water element, and the uncle there goes, "Oh, you speak great. Your language, your speaking skill is so good. Where'd you learn it?" and the fire element just goes, "Well, that's kind of interesting because I was born here. Like I was born in the city." And you kind of get a reference of like, oh, I know, like you could kind of see like, oh, I see where he's making a reference, right? So Kupek, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Thank you. I hope you guys like it. But there's a lot of like those type of metaphors in the movie that's really funny. And shockingly, I'm not gonna tell you what happens at the end, but I ended up crying. It was just a lot of like emotion rushing. Maybe because that was me being pregnant and stuff, but I felt bad because like I was watching it with like middle school girls right behind me, and I'm like sobbing right at the ending scene, and I was like, oh my god, it's so emotional, like it's so touching, blah blah blah, right? And then the movie ends. The girls behind me goes, oh well, like I haven't, by the way, it's a love story between fire and water element, and technically, you know how fire and water doesn't go well together, but they manage to somehow work that thing out. But there's kind of like immigration related issue in between. That's kind of like a comparison of like the actual thing. It's a really good story. I'm trying not to spoil it too much, but and I also want to explain it well for you guys, but I think my explanation skills been dropping since I haven't talked to anyone last week, the whole week. But anyways, I've just been doing a lot of reading, so talking wise it's been bad. Yeah, so if you guys are any race that's like different than white, it's pretty interesting, I think. Water dies, then it rains in the end. Oh, that's funny. Hi, Mark. But I think it's also going to be interesting. So what a lot of the movie reviewers that I was watching after I watched the movie did say, it might be a good reference for you guys to see it or hear about it, is that Asians are like people who have immigrated to the US. Water, which is fire, because fire, there's a part in the story where they moved to this new city because their place is, and then they do a lot of like at least Asian related things, and that's probably because the director is also, you know, like Asian. And then if you see the water is technically like white people, and that's why I was saying, you know how some white people see a different race and they always go, oh, your English is so good. So he put that reference in. I don't think, but like I said, it wasn't the director's intention. He actually said it in his interview, but people just kind of assume it. And then earth or soil is technically like African American black people, and you'll see why in the movie. I think I don't want to spoil that too much either. And then they have, oh wait, sorry, soil is not that. Wind is African American. I forgot what soil was. Oh, they say soil is the Jews. So there's a lot of fun things there. There's a lot of fun reference. I don't know why they put the soil as being the Jewish people, but it's pretty funny. You know how I usually don't recommend movies? I recommend this one. I highly recommend this one. There's a lot of funny references, and I highly recommend you guys to watch like stuff related to it after seeing the movie, because then you'll kind of connect, oh, this is where it becomes and blah blah blah. Yeah, then Mark, you should definitely watch Elemental. Oh, it's pretty good. I'm shocked that it's not as popular in the US as in Korea, but Koreans really liked it. But anyways, that being said, I was like crying because, you know, like it's very emotional, especially I think as it being an Asian watching it, it was just kind of like, wow, you know, like you get a lot of, it's just really impactful for a lot of Asians to watch it, at least for me, especially because I'm also an immigrant, right? And in the end, oh yeah, I know, it's kind of unfortunate. And kind of the more emotional thing was that he wanted to really show it to his family, like his mom and dad, but his mom and dad died while this movie was being produced, so that was really unfortunate. But because it also has family reference too, so that's why I was like, oh my god, it's so good, and I'm like crying, right? the middle school girls in the back, they're like, oh, well, I haven't loved someone yet, so I didn't really understand the movie, but it was pretty good. I felt bad. I was like, oh, do these girls think I'm crying because like it's about love story? Because I was crying because of a different point. But they said that, and I was just laughing all of a sudden. Mia goes, why are you laughing? I'm like, oh my god, there's interesting thing going on. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. If you guys have some free time and you guys have some time to kill, recommend. Not because the director is Korean American, I'm not supporting, but it's actually a very interesting story that I was really shocked in how he put it in that sense. And there's a lot of like, oh my god, I could see why it feels like a racial, like you could see why these elements seem like different race. But I think he said in his interview, like it's not racial something because I think he didn't want to create a stereotype. But there are like funny stereotypes that everyone kind of knows, but we don't really say it. So like for instance, the reason why fire is Asian is that Asians kind of rage a lot. We're so like in a hurry of being like, ah, right? We're always like fast, like anger. So it's fun. Highly recommended, guys. Highly recommended. Oh, and that too, Kuro. That actually is part of the movie. That's actually something that's also referred to in the movie. So yeah, it's really good. I do recommend it. It was pretty funny. Anyways, I watched that maybe Thursday. I didn't watch it Thursday. I don't know when I watched it. Maybe sometime this weekend. And then I got to watch Soul, just at home. I've been watching a lot of like Pixar, Disney collaboration movies. Soul was really good too. I didn't cry for that one, but it did make me think a lot in terms of like what should be my real dream. You know, did anyone watch Soul? No, I didn't watch the new Mission Impossible. Oh my god, Joey's been like ripping my curtain. I don't know why he does it though. Let me just kind of take it down. Ah. Have you watched The Good Dinosaur? No, I didn't watch that either. Joey's been kind of like angry. He's been angry a lot lately. I don't know why. I've been watching a lot of animation lately. So that's what I did. And then doing a lot of like searching for baby products. Those were pretty interesting. Guys, some baby products, man. Did you watch Oshinoko? What's that one? Maybe. Ah, no, I didn't watch it yet. I should watch it. Yeah, I think Joey kind of knows. I think that's something that I'll do this weekend. Today I was gonna kind of do like a short, just chatting, nothing too serious, and then go on Discord to watch the K-drama. Yeah, I wish I could play Dave, but I think I might need to get a new chair. So I changed my chair to my eating chair, because I put my own chair in Mia's room, since I've been in his room more than this room, since I could rest there. So I've been using the chair, but I can't sit here for a long time because I've been getting bigger. Like, you guys want to see how big my belly is? It's not that big, but it's like also. Do you see how like that's my bag, and it's more noticeable? And I'm not used to having like a big body to carry around. So it's kind of tough. Moving with a big body is not easy. Let me just say that. I've never been oversized in my whole entire life, so it's been a new journey. So for those who are maybe a little who's a big guy, wow, you guys have lots of things to carry around. It's not easy. So I've been sleeping a lot. I've been in bed, sleeping, resting. Yeah, I think if I could work a little hard this week in terms of streaming, maybe I'll put up a donation bar and then do some fun content related. But the problem is that I can't stream any long time, so which is unfortunate. Chair with wheels? Do we get a chair with wheels? Oh, you're skinny? Nice. You know what I was actually thinking of is getting a really nice gaming chair that I could also use it for a baby. So we don't have one of those like, what was it? 1인 의자? There's like one person chair that's really nice that I could also like lean back. Those recliners that I could also lean back. And there was a gaming chair that also had like a foot resting thing. I was like, maybe I should get that and like pay a decent price, put a donation bar. We haven't had a donation bar in a while, so I was like, maybe I'll put a donation bar, have that, And then I'll buy that. So I could use it, you know, it's not like I'm like, you know, I'm gonna need it anyways, so. But I feel like it'll also be a waste. Maybe I'll buy a used one, a decent used chair. Just the problem is how do I take it home? Is more stressful. And then should I just sit in it and roll home? That'll be actually pretty funny. Hot water soaker tub? Wow, what is that? Pedal is, I mean, if we were to do 당근, then we'd have to do it differently. The hot water soaker tub? Is that what you got? You know what tub I have to buy? I have to buy a baby tub. Oh! Oh! Oh, guys, don't get a baby. Don't get pregnant. Everything's expensive. Everything's so much dinero. Gosh. Are you shipping it to Korea or the US? Wait, what? Oh, everything is gonna be in Korea first. Maybe that's why it's expensive. If I'm getting stuff for the US, I'm gonna have a Amazon registry for you guys. Force it on you guys. Hey guys, hey interns, pay up. Baby needs your dinero. This is so messed up, guys. So. I went shopping the other day, and there are some interesting. I didn't like go shopping. I just went like eye shopping, and there was this really cool baby bathtub. Oh, Mark, thank you for the gifted sub to Jolly. You're watching your first 1-year-old nephew. I changed a lot of toxic diapers. Oh my god. Oh, thanks, Mark! It's a party. Yeah. Even the stroller is expensive. I think... Oh, 진짜... Just don't get a baby. If you get a baby, just don't... 모르겠어. It's hard. It's really hard. So then I was like, maybe I should really go and get a job. Oh, 너무 expensive 하니까. It's so expensive. It's speechless. Oh, I'm breaking all my savings. Like, if we were thinking of getting like my baby this fast, I wouldn't have gotten like a overly priced wedding. It wasn't that compared to probably like the rich people, but like still. DIY. Oh, I was thinking of doing crochets to make my baby's hat and like other things. I don't know how you would do a DIY baby. That'd be kind of funny. Oh. I looked up some things to do. Like, what did I found some stuff. Diapers is a lot of work. So I did look up what I have to buy and what I have to do. Guys, I'm already tired. 이게 문제야. This is the problem. Is that I take too many naps, but I can't. It's hard not to take naps. I hate it when people really just say to me, just drink coffee. It's like, why would I do that? Coffee isn't the solution to everything. I really got a lot of people saying, just drink coffee. I got just drink coffee, or what else did I get? I also got, hey, back in my time, from a lot of elders, like, we used to work and do stuff. Like, okay, like, I'm still working. Korean people and their coffee, yeah. They think that all Koreans just drink coffee, and I'm like, there are people who can't drink coffee, guys, right? I hope you know that. It's not easy. Like, I hate the smell of coffee sometimes. It's really strong. I've been drinking a lot of tea, though. But I've been, I guess, doing more sleeping, more resting more than other stuff. Yeah. Wow, suddenly got so tired. 갑자기 확 졸려졌어. 와, is it nap time? By the way, today ITZY's coming back and Oh My Girl's coming back. They have a comeback, so I have to do a music video reaction. At least those aren't that bad. I don't feel... Yeah. I think if you're pregnant, it's better to get a job that works maybe like 8 hours. Well, I guess you can't take a nap. I don't know how people would get pregnant and work. So Milwaukee, the tool company, is in Korea, and I was like, maybe I should look into getting hired there so that it's easier for me to move later on. Yeah, isn't that nice? Am I ready for no sleep when the baby's born? That is not. If the baby's born and if I don't get to sleep, I'm just gonna be streaming. I'll put the baby stuff inside my room in the corner, and then I'll just be streaming until it wakes up. The baby wakes up, and then I'll be like, okay guys, I'll be back. Do stuff. Job position? I haven't checked. I just saw the company nearby. Like, oh, Milwaukee. Can you have coffee while breastfeeding? Okay, honestly now too, you could have whatever you want. So technically, you could do whatever you want, but we don't know how bad it's gonna be for the baby. But you could still do it. Like, I've seen some people drink beer while they're pregnant. Because they just can't quit. They literally say they're alcoholic. And it's the same thing with coffee. You could drink coffee, technically, right? But we don't know how well the baby's gonna be. And if you get a baby, you're not supposed to do like hardcore exercise. For instance, like running. So I have a friend who got pregnant, or who just had a baby, and she's not leaving the house for at least 100 days. Yeah, or dancing. Mia and I actually thought about that, whether or not I could keep dancing, doing like the K-pop covers, and I was like, dude, I literally don't do anything, and I've gained so much weight. So I've been looking into doing like covers that doesn't do a lot of jumping or dancing or hard movements. So that's why I can't cover a couple of them. I wanted to do EXO one, but that was like too hard. I was like, I'm not gonna use my brain for it. So I think today when Oh My Girl comes back, or ITZY, I'll do that one. Yeah, me too. Well, here's the thing. There's no really like good research for what's really good for the baby versus what's bad for the baby. Because I've seen Instagram posts where the mom is literally running with her baby. And like she's pregnant, but she's like running hardcore. Yeah, that's the thing though, Raven. Like, how do you measure what is considered extreme? You can't until you have some issue with the baby. When that happened, who are you gonna blame? The doctor? Or someone else? So, like, would you rather be safe than sorry? It's kind of the issue. That's why I was like, Mia, if I'm gonna do dancing, I'll just do like 30 minutes. And then, like, do every other day. So then I'll try to, like, pull in 2 dances for 30 minutes so that I can upload 1, and then the next day I'm resting. So yeah, it's hard to measure the extreme. Like yesterday I went out for a walk. I went shopping. I went to the Hyundai Outlet Mall, right? And I was outside for 6 hours. I maybe would have said I walked 3 hours. That's technically still considered extreme, you know? But is that really like extreme for my body? Like he's moving. It's kind of painful, but so. Poor doctors. I feel bad for the doctor. Like they can't say anything. They probably get all these questions of like, oh, can I do this? Can I do that? Blah blah blah. But the doctor will always be like, you know, as long as you're being on the safe side, you can still do your exercise. So the one thing that like is mandatory for you to do is growing your arm muscle, because when I get heavier, I need to use my arms to get up. So if I don't have that muscle or that strength to do it, then I literally cannot get out of the toilet. I've heard people who actually hire someone, like hire a lady to help pregnant women get out of toilet seats. So I've been doing a lot of arm exercise and legs. Yeah, I can't do a squat because I can't squat. So one of the things that I also have to be careful is that I don't want the baby to be closer to my, like, where we're gonna have the baby, because then that could cause issues. You'll be seeing bad things. So right now my baby, even though the length of my, you know, the length of the entrance to the baby is long, my baby is more on the lower side. So we gotta lift the baby up somehow, and that requires just me not moving so that the baby can naturally go up. And that sounds weird. Oh really? Did your mom? Oh really? Yeah. So I've been doing a lot of exercise that's been required to do it on the floor, like exercising to do so.
Hi boss, I want to say something longer, but I'm at work. Gene recap.
Oh no! Thank you for the tier 2 sub. Thank you. 감사합니다. How's work? I kind of miss working. Guys, well, what does it feel like working? It sucks. It's better than this. It's better than this. Guys, there's been so many fun issues that we could be talking about. It's really sad that we like don't have the time or like the energy. So. Thank you. Oh, 진짜 왜 이렇게 졸립지? I've only been streaming for 1 hour and I'm already tired. Wow, how do people stream for a long time? What else do they do? Oh, and then guys, funny story, my stomach's been very itchy lately. They say that if I'm itching my stomach, it's saying that the baby's growing. So I guess we'll have a big baby. What sucks is that every part of my body except for my belly and my boob and my thighs is the same. So I just look super funny. Mia said I was like it's really scary. It's so scary. Like, yeah, so I've been putting a lot of the cream. Maybe I'll put some cream on my thighs. But I look funny. So if you've seen all my dance videos, I'm wearing stuff that's covering my belly. No, I didn't hit him. Sora! Sora was streaming this morning. 안녕. 안녕하세요. Oh, I'm guys. I forgot to share, but Sora bought me a lot of stuff, but I forgot to tell you guys. Hello, guys. Oh, she was dancing. What is she dancing to? Did she do any new dance? I forgot to tell you guys. I forgot to upload it. I have a lot of stuff that I got for my baby gift, but I forgot to show it. So I'll hopefully get to show it for you guys. Hi. 안녕하세요. Hello. 안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. Hello. How are you guys? How was her dancing? Hello. Guys, I haven't streamed in a long time, so I missed you guys. Did I? Did she do some Oya dancing? Nice. Did I? 근데 진짜 심심하긴 했어. Like there were days where I'd be awake at maybe like 3 in the morning where I can't really do anything. So I was like, maybe I should stream. But then I was like, I don't have anything to stream about. I mean, I did, but yeah. I kind of want to finish day, but at this point, I'm just so tired. I haven't been playing any games. Maybe like 1 or 2 hours of League of Legends, but other than that, since I can't sit on a chair for that long, I haven't been able to play anything. And what I realized is that since it's growing, I've been leaning back a lot. So if I do anything that's like crunching my belly, it's painful. So that's been stressful. There's a lot of stress related to this. Yeah. I have a body pillow. I have another pillow. Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna get a donation bar for a nice chair. I need a nice chair. So that I could just be streaming like this and be like, hey guys. I don't know how people would stream while being pregnant. Good night, Ben. I don't think maybe up to that much, but maybe like... Do I have a donut cushion? What's a donut cushion? I don't think so. Yeah, I want a recliner. So that's... Oh yeah, I don't have a donut cushion. Do I need one? I have no cushion. That's probably why it's painful. Hi! Guys, I'm seeing Sora tomorrow, by the way. During lunch. So either she's gonna stream, or we're just gonna hang out. Surprise! But we're not gonna do a collab. I feel like a lot of streamers lately, instead of doing collabs, they want to hang out more. They're more into hanging out with other people, or like just hanging out offline than streaming. Oh, I'm on stream. I think we're meeting at 1. Actually, what time are we meeting? It just sucks because if I... Okay, so the reason why I pushed my stream time, it used to be at 9 in the morning and now it's at 10, is I wake up. And the moment I wake up, my body is so dead. I need like an hour or 2 for my body to recover for me to get out of my bed. And it's really hard. Hello, how are you? Oh my god, my stomach's so itchy. Ah, 간지러워. So that's why I moved my streaming time to 10 instead of 9. Because it takes that much energy for me to get out and get prepared. Even today, I barely made it on time because I couldn't get out of bed. I woke up at 8 today for some reason. But I ate breakfast and then I was like, oh my god, I just can't get up. I was actually really thinking about doing a bed stream. Like, bed stream probably sounds really nice right now. I'd be really wanting to do a bed stream and like just be in bed and just talk to you guys instead of doing something else. But oh well. We're here. We're here with you guys. Here with nice interns. Today, what else should we do? Yeah. I don't wanna attract a certain What's my talent? Oh. My talent is pregnancy. And what's going on is talking about how it's stressful. Oh really? I shouldn't itch it? Yeah, I just put this cream on. Ah, yeah. I'll try to at least stream 3 hours. I don't know if I could do it every day. I'm trying to do Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. Can I dance? No. I'm not a good dancer. Hi guys! Where am I from? I'm from the US. What should we do today? 오늘 뭐 할까? Actually today is like the day that I always get stressed out right before streaming. Being like, what should we talk about? What should we do today? Well, no, I don't want to do anything today. I don't even want to play Dave today. I just want to talk. My English is so good. Thank you. Thank you, because I thank you so much. I'm very beautiful. Thank you. My finger. Yeah. I have to go to the doctor's, by the way, today. I have issues to deal with in terms of my finger. What else did I had lots of things I wanted to talk about and I totally forgot. Yeah, it'll probably cost me $3,000 to remove it. This week was very horrifying in terms of Korea. There was a lot of bad cases, but yeah, I need a donation bar for that. Let me just check what I wanted to talk about. Ah! Saw a post on Reddit about a pregnant woman confronting someone on the subway sitting in the designated seat. Was it me? Did she have blonde hair? Guys, let's talk about... I was gonna prepare myself a little bit for this, but... This is... I don't think I'll put this on YouTube as of right now because we don't really know what's going on, but let me tell you a funny case that happened in Korea. So... a elementary teacher committed suicide. Guess just where she committed suicide. Who heard about this story about the elementary teacher? Yeah. By the way, for someone who just literally came here from Sora's stream, I'm so sorry. Like, I don't dance on stream. I talk about scary stuff on stream. By the way, so if you guys were expecting me to dance, I don't dance on stream, first of all, because I'm shy. I'm very shy. I'm very, very shy, and I like sitting down. So if you guys are expecting dancing, I'm very sorry. I'm sorry. But if you want to see my dance videos, you can follow me on Instagram. I've been keeping that up in terms of dancing, so that's still available. I look decently fine there. I have it on Instagram and YouTube, so if you guys want to see me dance, highly recommend both. I don't know. I forgot all my things. It'll come up somewhere, sometime, sooner or later. So anyways, funny story, guys. So yeah, I guess you have to spell out YouTube. Maybe we have social. There's lots of stuff. So who has heard about... A lot of people probably heard about the elementary teacher. So we're not gonna go in more in depth about it, but... Let me... I found an article for you guys. The reason why I'm not gonna put this, at least on YouTube, is that it's not official of why she committed suicide. There are guesses, but since it's not an official issue, we're not gonna probably put it, but I'll just tell you guys a little bit about it. So an elementary teacher takes, she basically committed suicide inside her classroom. Isn't that kind of scary? Excuse me, 어서오세요. So in 서초구, southern Seoul, she took her own life in a classroom, guys. Tuesday morning. Luckily, I think none of the students got to see her, but she was 23-year-old woman who passed the teacher certification test earlier this year. Earlier this year, and this happened, guys. 백발이 좀 작아 보이잖아요. So it added that students had not yet been informed of the teacher's death, citing the potential of emotional damage, and no students witnessed the scene. Luckily that happened. Student loans? I don't think it would be student loans though. Yeah, it was literally right before the school started. She committed suicide. Now, the official added that police are currently investigating the case and determine to determine the time of death, and they had yet to determine the exact cause. The office further added that no suicide note had been found at the scene, declining to comment more on the issue. So this is the biggest reason why I'm not going to put this on YouTube, but I just want to talk a little bit about this because... So let's talk about teachers. Let's talk about job as a teacher, guys. When you guys hear the job as a teacher, what comes to your mind? What's something that's like, oh, teachers. Low pay, high expectation. Hell yeah. So I brought this picture up. It's in Korea. There was a news, so a lot of people has been coming out and talking about this, and this isn't Korean, but I found this funny. So this guy, he's a SBS news reporter, interviewed this teacher, and he also mentioned what he actually interviewed. Oh, like, how does it feel like being a teacher, and like all these questions? And she goes, we can't wake students up. And he goes like, why? We can't do anything because we've actually gotten reported for sexual harassment, waking up a student in a classroom, guys. Can you believe this? And what's really funny is there's this Korean show program called Kumchogi. A lot of foreigners don't know about that well, but so, you know, this happened. We're not really assuming why, but it's not, if you think about it, back when we were young, you know, we're gonna be all these like old ajumma ajashis, but let me just say, before my era, we used to be able to use physical right? But now, and that's when probably the teacher had more power than students. And at the time, students felt awful. They felt very like this was happening. Now, the tables have turned. Students are literally just being like, you can't do anything, right? So this isn't the only case that happened recently in terms of elementary teacher. There was actually a case in Korea where a teacher was physically beaten up by an elementary kid. Wow, like physically, like you've seen I wonder if this shows the pictures. So I guess they took out the picture, but she literally had bleeding in the mouth and like everything. She's taking all these medical treatments right now. And it happened in Incheon, but wait, this news that I'm thinking. Okay. So it took June 23rd, which is like a month ago. Reportedly resulted in serious injury. And then the assault occurred when the teacher warned the students not to behave aggressively to other students, right? Because the teachers, you know, the teacher has to protect the other students. And the student responded by grabbing the teacher's hair, pulling her to the ground, and physical activity happened. Now the teacher suffered a neck injury and was taken to a nearby hospital by ambulance. Prior to the assault, the teacher was reportedly verbally and physically abused over the course of 2 months. 2 months, guys. Can you believe it? So the elementary school where the incident took place held a committee meeting on teachers' right and suspended the students. Thank God that they, you know, they did this. But can you believe it? Elementary. Okay, even if it's, so Korea goes, by the way, up to 5th grade, not 6th grade. Like, wait, no. We go up to 6th grade, sorry, in Korea. What is 6th grade? Maybe like 10? How could a person, you know, like, what? why would this happen? And let me just say, I'm sorry to a lot of, maybe parents, potential parents like me out there, but the biggest reason why this is kind of happening, for those who are kind of wondering, well, why isn't she using self-defense, is moms. Let me just emphasize the word mom. Well, and probably happens with a lot of dads. 6 is 12. Okay, so like maybe 10, 12. But let me just say parents. Parents include mom, dad, right? And it's not just mom. You have to add in the word overly protective. Overly. So, what's really funny about this type of topic that you want to think about is that when this happens, of mom and dad being overly protective, and it's not everyone, by the way, not all Korean moms or Korean dads are overly protective of their children and stuff, but there's actually been funny, maybe like not research, but back when we were young, I know we were talking about like old, maybe 2000 era, when internet wasn't even there, but at the time my mom got pregnant maybe when she's 20, so there are a lot of research and prediction of why a lot of parents recently are very overly protective. You would normally get baby maybe when you're 25. You get married early, 22ish, and then you get born 25, have kids maybe 27. My mom got me at 28. So that's been the case, right? So you'd be entering elementary kid maybe around like early 30. Latest or like 35. The problem with recent, so then if you get, and then so, like, the problem with recent parent is that they're actually having their child late. So they're having it at maybe like 30 something, like 35, right? And then so if they're having a child at 35, you have 10 years of all the baby or stuff and everything. So it's been 35 to 40 because moms want to really work. Totally fine, right? Totally fine. So that's what, 10 years? That's 50. That's when, the mom's gonna be 50 when they have kids entering elementary school when they're 10. If you think about grandparents at like when we were when we were 10, they were actually around like 50 or like 55, right? So what people are predicting is that they don't feel like it's kids to them anymore. It's more like dealing with grandkids. And you know how mom, when they treat their kid, it's kind of different when they treat their grandkids. So to them, because they got a baby late, kids are so precious, and that no matter what happens, they should always be fighting for the kids. It is just a theory. This has no like scientific backgrounds, no like maybe specific results in terms of, because it's kind of something hard to analyze, but it's another prediction that we could assume of. So, like you're getting kids late, and obviously your kids are going to be the most precious one. They're so precious. They are the god. So what people are doing, and this is kind of related to when we talked about a long time ago, why in Korea they're having the no kids zone. And I do want to clarify on this. Of course, kids, like what you guys said back then, they can be loud. They can be screaming. Loud and screaming. They could be like, ah, and then they're running around. But the problem is, maybe no one can stop them is the biggest problem. Sorry, I can't speak English. So what no kid zone, by the way, is in Korea, what's happening is cafes or restaurants. They're not allowing any family with kids. And I first initially said because the kids are like, the kids are causing problems, or there might be issues that that have, you know, dangerous stuff maybe inside the restaurant. There are a lot of expensive stuff in the restaurant, especially if you go to like the higher end like things they have, like vases and everything. So it could be dangerous, especially if no one's taking care of them. I actually read this fun article that talked about why this cafe owner is having no kid zone, and this person pointed out the biggest issue is due to parents. And their action. So what they do is, if a kid's literally running around and being, you know, like, right? Like long time ago when I was a kid, if I did that, you know what my mom or like other parent, like other relative would do? They'd be like, oh, that next that old ajashi over there is going to say inom and scare you, so you better be listening, you know, and you'd be scared and you're kind of like, oh my god, I better be at least like tamed, right? Now in Korea, they just run around and no one can say anything to the kid. They are God in the baby. You know, like they're literally a headless chicken and the mom do not care. Like some of the mom in the extreme cases. So if the cafe owner actually goes, hey kid, can you please behave, and like try to tell them that that's happening, the mom actually goes, how can you say that to my child? What the fudge? Be like, 저기요, 저희 애한테 어떻게 그런 말 할 수 있어요? And they get like angry at the mom. And and the cafe owner was kind of like puzzled, right? Be like, oh well, like he's causing other people to be like doing this. So this is another issue. Parents, you know, they're being the Karen. They're being the Karen parents, and so this is kind of related to being overly protected. Now, going back to the elementary school teacher, the biggest rumor, at least in this one, is that parents are telling them, don't make it too viral. They're like, you know, just keep it shush. Because, you know, what were the news? This happened last week and there hasn't been anything up. There has been no updates. The reason why is because they don't want their kids to be, you know, I think they put in the word ashamed of, but I think they also wanted to put in saying, we don't want it to be known that it's our school because we want our kid to be growing in a perfect area. Especially Seocho, guys. Seocho, for those who don't know Korean like places that well, this area is filled with rich moms. Rich and like fancy moms. So probably for them it's because it's kind of a metaphor if you think about it. Why would a teacher commit suicide inside a classroom that early morning, guys? Why? Of course we can make all these theories, yes, but what would you think? The first thing you would think about is that kids issue. Right? We're not going to be thinking, oh, she committed suicide because she broke up with her boyfriend inside a classroom, right? That doesn't really come to your mind. And, you know, a lot of people talk about like the dying message and everything. Well, it's definitely going to be kids. Well, is it actually the kids? Who are we going to blame? The kids for being raised? Or are we going to then, parents? Right? And it's very unfortunate that this is happening. But it's really hard it's actually really hard doing any type of job related to dealing with kids. And this kind of is going to be beyond what I wanted to talk about today. But because of this, in Korea, there aren't that many doctors in the kids field. 소아과. Pediatricians. Why did I not? I should have known that word, by the way. My brother had to go to doctor when he was young, so I got to meet him. So there's actually news articles saying that, you know, they lack of those job field. And, you know, I looked into why we were missing those doctors. And guess what the reason is? Pediatricians. Picky parents. Because if you think about it, kids going to doctor, what can they say? It hurts. How can a doctor identify where, why, how it could hurt, you know? So if this doesn't get resolved, what's the mom gonna do? Report, like, put it on this kid cafe, like mom cafe. Of like, OMG, this doctor, like, said, my kid said this doctor, or like, my kid said he's in pain, and all he did was give me this med, it's not working, this place is blah blah blah, da 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 da. So another Karen mom comes. Not all mom cafes are like this. I am actually involved in couple, and it's pretty clean. I'm not emphasizing that every moms are like this, but let me just say that there are a lot of social media sucks. So we are in this really bad circulation, guys. We are in this awful circulation of, okay, kids have too much power, right? And the reason for this is that moms or parents are being overly protected. So then what can the other people do? What can, like, jobs that require dealing with kids do? Just basically kneel down and just obey, which then leads to depression, blah blah blah, etc. In Korea, they actually make a lot of parents ask their kids to or the teachers to report where the kids are going. So it's pretty scary. It's definitely a scary negative circulation that's going on in Korea, and it's really awful. So yeah, there are definitely really weird Karens out there, and it's probably happening a bit too much nowadays in Korea. So that's been the recent update on this, and I haven't been more up close date on this one because I didn't get to hear anything related to it, but that's what's happening. That's really sad that this is happening and that people are using this. They're actually saying, hey. So, yeah, so there's no middle ground. So kind of going back into thinking, what can we do to create a nice middle ground, guys? What can we do? What would be a good middle ground? Do we give power to the teacher? How much power? Like, for instance, probably not any physical activities, but, you know, kid says something, you're gonna probably be like, you're getting out of the room. The problem is, what if the mom is rich? Mom has lots of money. Mom goes, you know, you see in a lot of the K-dramas, mom goes, hey, we gave you so much money on doing this, blah, blah, blah. What can we do? And how dare you kick our child to or outside, blah, blah, blah. So this is, I think, where maybe the school policy must step in, or some like school district, something high position ajashi comes in, stops by, and they actually have to be like, mom, we have to actually make up a decision saying your kids need to be homeschooled. until he's ready to deal with public. You know, until he has understand what he cannot do in a social environment. Or we could just kill all the humans, right? Yeah. So with all these cases going on, do we want kids? Not really. I'm not saying, hey, you know, like, I'm gonna be that mom. But I'm also, you know what I worry about is, what if my kid ends up being in the same classroom as that one troublesome? And teachers have no power. How is my child going to be protected? Who's gonna protect my child? No one. Except me. I literally have to be sitting inside worrying that everything's gonna be safe. So, and this kind of relates to another topic that I wanted to talk about, is that, oh, this is not really related, but yeah. So there's a lot of rumors that's going on with the current education program, and I don't like the fact that it's being shushed right now, and that it should be coming out more. And I feel like a lot of teachers need to report anything that they had to deal with, especially if it relates to any physical activities. So installing cameras, man, installing cameras. It's another interesting thing. There's a lot of course, it gives you installing cameras definitely gives you a benefit of saying this is evidence, but does not solve the case, which is so sad. We literally have to like go inside the parents' brain who are being overly protective and say, yeah, so cameras is hard. They really need to learn how to take the kid to maybe a certain, yeah, like a military camp. Literally just put them in this bunch of areas. But there are actually studies, guys, shockingly, is that kids actually, if there's a classroom filled with problematic kids, it's not gonna get any better. So what I was gonna mention earlier is that there is this Korean program called Kumjogi, and it's so scary, man. It's so scary. It talks about, it's not that scary, but it does help you in terms of your future, you know, like getting child. But it deals with this doctor. Her name is Oh Eun-young Baksa. Her name is Oh Eun-young. She is a teacher. Or sorry, she is a professor. Or professor. She's a Baksa is maybe researcher. And so she looks like this. And you know, you see her face. They're all so serious. It's because they talk about this problematic kid. And what's really fun about this show is that she figures out a problem with the kid. You know, a kid has an issue. Let's say there were some kids that just ends up screaming for no reason. There's kids who just wake up at night for some reason. Mom cannot figure out. There were some kids who still sucked on mommy's boobas, and she's literally like, the kid was still like you know, the kid was already 7 years old. So she figures out, like, in terms of psychologically what's going on with the kid, and then usually it's the kid's fault. Now, kind of funny story is that, so she gives you a solution. She's like, oh, you know, when this happens, there are some things you could try. What's funny about this article and why I mentioned this is that there was a death case if there's a death case, any serious issue that every public knows, then what a lot of media or a lot of people do is they need to play the blame game. Who are we gonna blame? Oops. We can't literally say, but the problem here is that we can't blame the parents. We know it's the parents. We're all shushing, but we know it's probably some type of parent or kid issue. But when I always say it's a kid issue, then it's probably the parents' fault, right? Or even this case, you know, this teacher got physically assaulted by an elementary kid. She couldn't do anything. She's hospitalized. Let's play the blame game. Who are we gonna blame? Who's the issue here? Kid? Well, if we blame the kid, then we gotta blame the parents. Are social media gonna like the fact that parents are being blamed for this? No. Who can we blame? This doctor. We're blaming this doctor then. Well, wait, where's our doctor? Yeah, we'll blame her. Why? Because she gave you a solution. The solution did not work. Because of her solution, it's not working. What the fudge? So that's why, you know, we're having these problematic kids because like we've checked a bunch of the solutions that she put out. It's not working. You know, it's not helping. Let's blame this doctor. Perfect. We're done. End of the case. And that's how they're wanting to end the case. It's crazy. It's crazy how this is running. They don't want to confront what's the real problem and say, we really need to do something about the relationship between kids to teachers and teachers to parents. It's something that's blocking. We don't know why. We don't know why it's going on and everything. So who can we blame? The doctor. It's the doctor. We could be... And maybe, you know, we haven't really figured out what's in depth with the story. Maybe the teacher did some physical activity. Maybe she swore at the kid, or maybe she was doing this. We don't know the exact teacher, but we do know that the kid used physical activity on the teacher, which is not a safe thing. So, the moral of the story for this is that it sucks being an elementary school teacher or any type of teacher in Korea, because you're not just dealing with the kid, you're also dealing with the parent. You don't know. Mostly the parents are good. Okay, like I know a lot of moms, I know a lot of dads. They're 90% good. But because of that 10% who's causing all these issues and having careless parents. Oops, I can't spell care. We're having these unfortunate cases towards the teacher, which is unfortunate. So I'm hoping that if I say this, it's not telling you guys. I don't want the conclusion, guys. And hopefully you guys all understand, but this shouldn't result into saying that the conclusion is no kids. Or not gonna get married. This is not what the conclusion is. Okay, guys, the conclusion that I wanted to point out with this is that we really need to figure out a nice balance. We need a balance between teachers and students, or parents and family. So it's hard. It's really hard. And who should be... And don't play the blame game of, you know, having this doctor be it. So hopefully you guys got the message that there needs to be a balance. Because it seems that although it's only like 2 cases that came out, there probably are going to be cases that hasn't been outside and, like, you know, that hasn't been revealed. A lot of teachers might have to deal with a lot of stuff right now that we don't know of. But with the current 2 cases that came up, there needs to be some type of relationship issue. It's unfortunate. Yeah, they just don't want to blame other people. But this is a fun, I don't want to say fun, but this is currently a very controversial, what the heck, what word am I mixing up? But this is very unfortunate, but it needs to be solved issue, because if this doesn't get resolved, no one wants to have kids. So you know what that means? Then the Korean birth rate's gonna drop, and no one really wants to also become a teacher. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to follow and sub. If you guys like this story, don't forget to sub to my channel. You'll get more exciting insights and updates. Bullying in Korea? Well, I feel like bullying is everywhere, though. Bullying is everywhere. But what's kind of funny about the story that I just talked to you guys about is, you know, we talked about baby birth, and I'll just continue on with one more, and then maybe I'll just call it a day because my back's starting to hurt again. 아이고, 진짜. I'm sorry, guys. I'm dying. 진짜, I want to break my back. But one more fun story that's kind of related to what we just talked about, that was brought up by a different like YouTuber that talked about it. I thought it'd be kind of interesting to talk about it with you guys. Is, do you guys know the program have you guys seen this before? So there's also like I know we're bringing up this lady again, but this lady also came out for this one. Oh wait, let me just change my title to the next topic, but maybe it wasn't this. There's another fun story where there was this one. I mean, I have to find it. I don't know if I could. Okay, so there is currently a Korean show program. Okay, so anyways, new topic for today is there's this Korean program right now going on, and it's not new. I saw this a couple of days ago, and I was really interested because it talks about the title is called 불륜 톡방. So what 불륜 톡방 is 불륜 means cheating, and then 톡방 is chat room, right? So it's a cheating chat room. And why I brought this is I watched it. I watched it with Mia the other day. It was pretty cool. You get to learn different language, different words that mean different things. So this lady that I'm showing right now is a lawyer, and she focuses on divorce. And she came out on this Sechiho program. I've never heard about this program before. It looked interesting. I think they just talked about really crazy stories, like in terms of like vocal, like, you know, they tell you fun stories, and this one got really popular that it ended up coming up on my thing. We got 1.4 million views on it. So basically the point of this is who has the funniest story, and you end up ringing a bell and they're like, hey, you know, they stop at a point where if you want to hear more, you have to ring a bell or something, and there's audience. And you know, the most popular one that came on my newsfeed, and I don't even know why it came up on my newsfeed, was the one we just saw right now, dealing with cheating. Because it's fun to hear about it, right? It's very fun. You hear about cheating stories about how they got into a cafe, you know, how this boy was cheating on this girl in marriage, so he got divorced. Another fun popular Korean show right now that's going on is this one. It's the lady we saw. She's the doctor she's a she's a doctor focusing on psychology. 아닌데? yeah, 맞지? 심리학 is psychology, right? And she used to be focusing more towards kids, but now she also does a program where she focuses on married couple. Perfect. You know, so then I want to emphasize the word marriage, right? When you guys hear about the word marriage, what comes to your mind? You hear in like the Disney movies of happily ever after, or you know, after marriage they're happily ever after, blah blah blah, and we're happy, you know, we're happy. I mean, we do sometimes, you know, you see guys always joking around. At least there's a Korean meme that goes, just don't, where they just tell you don't basically get married. So it's very interesting, and I've been married for now like 4 months, but I've lived with my current husband for 5 years, 6 years. Yeah, there's definitely some sucky parts about it. Of course, I can't go see another hot guy. I can't go clubbing. I can't go meet random guys at a bar. But yeah, he's my current one. We don't know what's going on. We won't know what will happen, right? But basically, a lot of people use the word tied down. And why I brought these two things, and then I think this one also relates to some type of... Oh, wait, sorry. This is not the show that I was talking about. There's another show where they talk about how, like, all the marriage issue, you know. So what this show actually does is there's two couples. There's two married, beautiful couple. And they come out with, oh my god, my husband spends too much money on gambling, or my husband enjoys too much of his own time, does not care about the baby. And then so she comes in and she's like, oh, like, let's talk about your issue, and then let's talk about her issue, and blah blah blah. People like it. It's fun. You hear about all these marriage story and how it's failing and how it's like all a disaster. The one we just saw earlier, they talk about how in this talk room, you actually there's this Kakao chat room, by the way, that I learned after watching this, and it talks about what word you should use. But to get into this chat room, by the way, you have to say that you have to give evidence that you're married. So in the chat room, you basically give out your marriage picture or your baby picture, so that you can basically have sex with another couple. or another person. So in this chat room, it officially becomes somewhat official, and it's like, oh yeah, you can basically have checks. So when another I was watching this YouTuber talk about kind of this being a little worrisome, and honestly, I agree that it's worry. Why? He does mention something about, hey guys, if all these shows come out, these are all Korean shows, by the way, these are all Korean talk reality shows. If all these shows are coming out and saying marriage sucks, who wants to get married? Like, if we're only seeing on the video, on the show, of all these awful cases, like A, cheating, like how to identify if someone is cheating. Is he going out on the weekends, blah, blah, blah? Or, did you check the black box? Is something related to the Bluetooth? Man, that's... Who would want to get married? Would you want to get married if you hear about all these Korean like cheating shows or like marriage is hard shows? Like, man. And why I want to bring up this type of story is, how this lady is doing the kids show too, And I know that every show, it needs to be extreme. It needs to be somewhat very extreme. So you have all these problematic kids, like I said earlier, someone throws like garbage at each other, or like they swear. I've seen a kid that literally goes, "F you, teacher! I hope you go to hell!" Blah blah blah, and say the worst thing to the teacher. It was pretty sad. And you just want to smack the crap out of this kid. Sometimes you're like, "Can I just smack you?" But she somehow fixes it magically. She's like, "Ta-da! You're okay." But you see these problematic kids, and I said to you guys earlier, right? I was like, guys, would I want to have a kid after realizing that there are these problematic kids out there? Same thing goes here. Guys, would I want to get married if I hear that there are these guys who go to these like chat room to cheat with other people? Like, and also this chat room, by the way, is literally with other married people. So they somehow brainwash themselves thinking, I can cheat because you're married, I'm married. I just want to have sex with another girl, but I can't because I'm married. So we're just gonna officially say this is doable, just being in this room, right? Do people want to get married? Like, how are you gonna be sure that your future wife, your future husband is not going to be in this room like working hard, like, and having a wonderful life? Who's going to be like, I wouldn't want to trust my, like my husband. I actually joked around when I saw that YouTube earlier. I was like, Mia, no wonder my Bluetooth isn't like on your car. And he was just laughing. He was like, can you stop watching this? Like, can you stop having all these ideas, right? No, he comes home early. Sometimes I want him to like not come home early. But so we kind of talked about, is it okay for shows to be this extreme? And that's actually one of the problematic, is that of course, it needs to be extreme. If you want someone to watch it, right? If you want someone to be like, you want to have lots of views on it, what would you want to watch? And that's kind of going on with stream itself. Would you want to watch a girl who, sits like me? I have a t-shirt on. I actually changed because my t-shirt was smelling, but, not everyone, and I know you guys enjoy watching me more, but I want to just randomly watch this random person play Dave all day. This is not me, by the way, but do you want to watch me play Dave all day, or do you want to watch this really sexy Onni with like super pretty clothes on, You know, she's like super pretty, and then she's doing the 02 dance. You know, what do guys want to see, right? Right? So you know that doing something extreme ending up resulting in what? More views, more, which ends up being more money. It's true. So that's why all these programs of marry, cheating, like, who wants to see someone having a happily ever life married? Of course, maybe, like, we do see there are programs in Korea right now of, like, celebrity marriage story. But they're celebrities. They have all the money. This is more realistic. This is actually dealing with legit human being. Legit human being gets on stage and they talk about their issue of how the husband's literally like going out every weekend without helping out with the baby. Of course, guys, of course not everything should be like this. And of course, maybe even on my chat, a lot of people are like, I still don't want to get married for ABC reason. But if you think about it, you're in your like 30s, you know. Do I want to get married after having all these? Here's like 2 life choices, you know. You know how we always talk about all these life choices issues, and this is like for those who are in your maybe your late 20s or your 30s or your like early 40s. You get to a stage. Do I really need to get married? And I've actually heard a lot of Korean girls that says, hey, you know what? I just want to have boyfriends for the rest of my life and YOLO my life by going traveling and doing all these. Of course, that's not a bad life, but it's probably a lot of people are having this mentality will lead to having a low birth rate. And I'm not saying having a kid is important and that should be your main future life, but it's troubling to see these type of extreme programs coming out and they're like, hey, there's these problematic kids, there's these thingy movie, there's this blah blah blah. You know why marketing works? And I always find this interesting. You know, if someone says that something is 99 cents, you get so excited. But if this 99 cents becomes $1, no one wants to buy. That's also part of marketing. Isn't that funny? You have this like, oh, it's 1 cent cheaper. Guys, it's just 1 cent. You can literally pick up a 1 cent on the floor. Same thing goes here. Hey, if we talk instead of regular, normal human being having a wonderful married life, who'd want to watch that? They would actually get jealous and they won't want to watch it. Instead, what if we just talk about all these awful cases like, oh, this guy cheated, or oh, this guy, you know, is like doing this. Oh, this girl is literally drinking while she's pregnant. Which one becomes more viral, right? So kind of deals with the current issue of social media, but this actually happened long before social media even came out. The fact that we have television shows. And I do want to maybe probably point out in the US, guess what I've seen the other day? I've seen there was I think a lot of people know this show. I actually don't remember the name, but there's this show of a jury comes out and she's literally being like, and the two I don't know, like married two, like one husband and one wife comes, and then and then the either it's like the husband's a problematic one or the wife is, obviously, but I've seen a case where it was like, she's crazy, she thinks that baby, or no, sorry, I was vice versa, where this kid is definitely mine, but then we realized that this wife basically cheated on him and been having sex with another person for for a really long time. Oh, is that what it's called? And then so this jury just goes, well, is that the case? Well, we have to make a final decision. That kid is not yours. And then like the dad goes, ah, and then the mom goes, ah, awkward, sorry. You know, Well, you know, but like, it's extreme. People like it. Wouldn't you have fun? You literally get to hear about this case where this mom just been having sex with another person, or, you know, the baby is literally not white. When two white people marry, you know, you can't have a black baby. But she's trying to still argue, saying that this is your child, and, you know, is that fun? Is that interesting? Would people watch it? Yeah, it's. And so I've been seeing all these like very kind of toxic, you know, it's kind of toxic, but it gets you popular. Yeah. Are you not entertained? That's true. So that's been kind of like an issue. Should people be actually getting these programs out there? Will people be convinced this is just a show? Not really. Especially because they put in the word reality show. And this program itself, I'm not dissing this program, by the way. This program is super fun. I actually enjoyed watching it because for me, what it told me is I'm already married, so it doesn't really have an effect on saying, should I watch it or not? Or do I want to get married or not? But it only has an effect of, oh, like there are people who fight about these cases, which kind of relates to what we do. And I usually end up saying, you know, thank God I met Mia. You know, there's crazy guys out there, and like my husband's a decent person. That's great. You know, we're happy. I try to, you know, connect it to the happier side and then just watch it as a show. Do a lot of people do that? Not really. You know, I mean, of course everyone's smart. If people can think, if they have a brain, they can say that this is just a reality show. There are definitely probably going to be some people that don't. So is it a good idea to have these very extreme shows out there telling probably people in their early 20s, especially when social media is very popular and, you know, TikTok or shorts are out there? They basically take a clip of the most extreme part and put it up on there. Is that a good idea? I don't know. But reality shows just is unfortunate. I see in terms of their perspective, their like company, these people need to make money, right? They're not just going to make money by making random shows. There's a bunch of shows that don't air anymore because it's boring, it's lame, it's not aggressive, it's not tasty, it doesn't have that mala taste in it. So I feel like to one point it's just getting extreme and extreme. So moral of the story, guys, marriage isn't a bad thing. Just wanted to tell you guys, and hopefully you guys are already smart, but you guys know what to do when there's shows like this. Just don't think that this is what it is. It's not always the reality, or the case is that it's very small. Of course, you could be that very unfortunate one who meets maybe a gold digger and basically says to you, hey, buy me this or we're getting a divorce. There's crazy people out there, but just hopefully you guys want to have a bright, happily ever after future. It was pretty interesting. I really liked what type of aspect he was looking, the YouTuber that I was watching was looking at, because it's hard. It's definitely hard should the reality TV shows be doing this. And you also see that some of the foreign ones probably more extreme. Like, not gonna lie, American reality shows are way too extreme. Even like a lot of the TV shows, oh my god, what was it? Not Grey's Anatomy, One Tree Hill. I still cannot get that out of my head. It was the most like super wow, like my friend sleeping with A, then he sleeps with B, but then C sleeps with, and then my other but I also sleep with B. It's like, what is this Lion King type of like going on here? But enough of that. I hope you guys end up being all very like, yeah, I hope people just end up realizing this is just a show. It's not reality. It's just a show. It's just something that's You know, it's probably somewhat scripted, or if it's actually a legit reality, it's like 1 out of million that could happen. So hopefully people get to figure out that she's just here to help you guys. Doesn't mean this is the reality of marriage. It's unfortunate. There's lots of unfortunate things. So that's all. National Geographic, the soap opera? Yeah. This isn't the one that I was just talking about, One Tree Hill. That's not a K-drama. It's actually a it was actually a American drama that I watched, which was pretty funny. So show extreme things, people get desensitized. Yeah, I know. This is unfortunate. This is also negative circulation, but what can you do, right? That's just life. You can't really do anything with it. You just have to deal with it. Oh, sorry, never mind. I'm not meeting Sora tomorrow. I thought we were. Hello. Yeah. Reality is only a tag. That's true. But there's really lots of crazy shows out there that's coming out. Yeah. I'm a new streamer. I cut my hair. I should be considered new. Anyways. What is 5k? Wow, are we going with the odds of if we could hit 5k? Holy cow. Oh my god. Well, I like 2. So let's go with 2. Oh! Fudge you, really? I got you baited. Wait, what is 5k? I got that 5k? Thank you. You have an excuse. Oh, one was literally 5k? Oh, really? My feet's asleep, guys. Okay, I'm gonna be back. Bathroom, and then I'll come back. I don't know what we'll do. What should we do, guys? I'll be back, though. goddess. Star queen. Oh, what did I say? Star queen, right? Oh, star queen.
This is how I always end
Okay,
stream.
okay.
I'm really bad at this.
How do you do this?
Okay, heart, 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 heart.
이거.
Heart,
아, 오케이, 오케이.
heart, 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 heart. Okay, that's it. Bye. Thank you.
I'm back.
Bye guys.
If someone says new haircut, that means they didn't watch your new video. Yeah, that's true. No one watched my Instagram. That's funny. Oh well. There's lots of fun things, guys, going on. My back hurts. You have YouTube? It's on my YouTube channel too. It's fine. Yeah, or if someone walks in and say, "Why aren't you dancing?" You're like, I mean, I'm dancing on Instagram, just not on Twitch. Ah, really? Busy with summer stuff? Oh well. Guys, what should we do? I feel like my love towards streaming, like hard quality, drops so much. I even nowadays, you know what I forget to do? How do you make money on Twitch? How do you what should I be doing? I've been thinking about that lately. I'd be like, what the fudge am I supposed to be doing? But I made more money on YouTube than Twitch. Wait, no, still I think Twitch makes. I mean, like if I get a lot for subs though. 02 dances, are they still popular? Sit and look pretty. It's interesting. No, I don't think I've seen a 02 dance lately. At least what's good on YouTube is that they count my reactions, so yeah, so I've been actually getting ad revenue for my shorts. So I've been uploading a lot of shorts lately on YouTube. So you guys should watch my shorts. They actually don't count the DMCAs on YouTube, which was really interesting for shorts at least. So that's how I've been kind of cheating and using shorts. But what should we do tomorrow? 내일 뭐 하지? What are some things we had on our plate? I was actually thinking about cooking, but then I can't because my fingers messed up. Oh, I should do my about panel. So lazy. Can we not? What's PNS? I should delete this. 아, 맞다. I forgot about that. Wow. I want to do an IRL, but I don't think I can. Oh, I don't think I'll have the energy to do IRL, guys. Kind of craving IRL. I haven't gone outside in a while. But if I do an outside stream, there's high chances I won't be on like tomorrow. I won't be alive tomorrow. Yeah, I want to go to a nice cafe. I was thinking of going to the Barbie cafe. I heard that's been popular, but me lady. I heard the Barbie one's popular. I also heard there was a really nice thing going on down at Gangnam pop-up store. Yeah, I heard there was the Barbie pop-up store. What? I feel like I should do something, guys. My makeup, I worked really hard on it, so it looks nice. But I don't think I'll go. I want to. And I should. Because I like Barbie. And I like Ryan Gosling. He's hot. He's so hot. But I guess I'll have to think about it. I think today I'm gonna cut it short and just do up to here. Yeah, and also Barbie is pink. But I think maybe tomorrow I'll think about something to do. Guys, I'm so lazy. What did I do? What streams did I do? Guys, go watch Elemental. I highly recommend watching Elemental. That's something that I'd recommend. Yeah, that one's really fun. Anyways, I'm gonna cut today's stream short. And we'll do... Since I'm not going over to Sora's tomorrow, I'll just end up doing something else. I'll just end up doing, maybe cooking, or maybe some other things tomorrow. Yeah. But it was nice coming back and talking to you guys. Maybe I'll upload today's talk. It wasn't that... I don't think there was that much issue. But we'll probably put that up. Anyways, I have to think about what I want to do with stream. I'm so lazy. I'm so lazy in doing other things. So I'll think about it, guys. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll come back sometime tomorrow. Hopefully at 10 again. Alive and better. And do some fun stream.